About 14 years ago, I was working with this friend of mine. He ended up becoming an investor in my company. He's built $3 billion companies, and he wanted to set up this private jet company with about 25 private jets. Okay. So he asked me how to go about it. So I told him, let's talk to people that actually buy private jets or have bought private jets or who can afford private jets. Okay? Because we need to understand what is the primary motivator. So I began talking to billionaires. I actually ended up interviewing about 62 billionaires. It's not just in India. I interviewed billionaires in Singapore. I interviewed billionaires in Malaysia, in Hong Kong, and a few in the Middle East and Russia. And I remember I was interviewing this billionaire in New Delhi. At that point, he was in the top 10 in the world. I'll not give his name because it's a private and confidential study. And I asked him whether he owns private jets. He basically told me, look here, I think it's a waste of money. It's not a very good bang for my buck. Yes, but I do fly private jets a lot. I take sometimes private jets owned by my friends, or I hire them on a fractional basis and so on and so forth. So I told him, where do you have your operations, let's say in India? Then I asked him, how often do you travel to these cities? He told me I travel to these cities every week. Like from Delhi, I fly to Bombay, and then I go to Madras or Bangalore. Then suddenly my eyes lit up. I told him, do you know something? If let's say you fly from Delhi to Bombay to Madras or Bangalore, and you go back to Delhi, you actually end up spending 2 to 3 days a week. So I did this little math, okay? I said, see, it takes 3 days for you. But if you had your own private jet, it would take 1 day. Now imagine you're saving 2 days a week. And if I do the math, you're literally spending 2 days a week, which roughly works out to 104 days a year. What if I tell you, you can save 104 days? He said, Karthik, give me 3 private jets, please. You see, what I need to do is I need to find out how many of these very super high net worth people exist. And how many of them are in a business that involves a lot of intense traveling. Take a wild guess, it's probably 70% of them.
Yeah.
Right? And then estimate how many of these people exist. That is really how you get to the bottom of it. I've given you one example out here. And this is a real example. It happened to me. And this journey got me into actually interviewing 62 billionaires. Now, it was very clear that the market did not only exist, but the market was huge, right? So when you actually sit and spend time, quality time with customers, and when you reframe the problem, right? I basically did not talk in terms of price. I spoke in terms of time. And suddenly, it not only made sense, it made enormous business sense. So I basically said, it doesn't just make common sense, it makes ridiculous business sense for you.